Guy Martin is a Lincolnshire lorry mechanic.
I've been a truck mechanic since I was 12-year-old. I love it, I love it.
He's also a star of one of the world's most dangerous motorcycle races, the Isle of Man TT. And in his spare time, he enjoys tempting fate by breaking speed world records. Now he's on a very different sort of adventure. He's come to India on a 1,000-mile trip because it's a country that shares two of his biggest loves, motorcycles.
The bike's been blessed. Better than an MOT, I'd say.
And tea.
That's brilliant.
Guy's passions are going to reveal India like you've never seen it before. This time, Guy's going to explore Mumbai, home of the super rich.
See that there, that one there? That's the richest man in India's house.
Before riding into the tropics for the climax of his trip, an attempt at being the first Brit to win India's maddest bike race.
I was mega though, whatever. It was mega, wasn't it?
Mumbai is the commercial capital of India and home to some of its craziest roads.
Oh, there isn't really any point in having white lines in the road, is there? Because no one takes any bloody notice of them. Kamikaze, tuk-tuk driver coming out of a road end.
It's not just the tuk-tuk drivers to worry about. Last year, there were 9,000 reports of what the police call rash driving. With more billionaires living here than Los Angeles, Tokyo or Dubai, some of the incidents are spectacular.
So here we are, second week. Get off the bloody horn, mate. So here we are now in Mumbai. More skyscrapers being built here than anywhere else in the world, not just in India, in the world. Yeah, and I've been away from work for a week, and it doesn't take me long. I'm missing work. I'm going to go find something to do. I'm going to go find someone who I can give a hand. That's what I'm going to do.
Guy's passion for graft leads him to the biggest building site in Lower Parel, Mumbai's new business district. It's a 48-storey block of lavish apartments and penthouses, marketed as the best that money can buy.
So we got to the building site. There was not a lot of health and safety going on there. What was they using? Like ropes and bits of sack, digging a hole out, laden in the bit of sack with the muck that they'd just pickaxed out in the bare feet. And then these lads are winching it to the top, chucking it on a heap, putting it back down again. That is graft. But it's like what is it may be, the financial capital of India. But digging an hole like that with such an old-fashioned way. I mean, what's happening there? Why not stick a mini digger down there? You know, we've got the gear.
If they had a mini excavator, they could dig this hole in a day. Instead, it will take this team a week to get the job done.
And I'm not for health and safety, but I think there's a bit of middle ground somewhere. Yeah, you're asking for trouble, boys.
Guy's work will be in a penthouse on floor 46.
First impression, building in the Dark Ages.
It's a 3-minute lift ride to reach the 46th floor, 500 feet above ground level.
If a lift was going to fail, didn't fill me with confidence, but the way that it was fashioned on the side of the building, it was all just a bit, it'll do, it'll get us by. How many years to finish this building?
Last 4 years.
4 years. The civil work's about finished now. That's taken 4 years. Like the civil work, the main frame of the building. Another 2 years to finish everything else, or 6 years to finish. Yeah, it sounds like a long time. Thank you. Thank you. And really, there was a few netted areas, but I could go right to the edge. Right to the edge. You know, you was looking the birds in the eyes as the birds were soaring on the thermals. At our height, there was there. That is high. That is high. Every area you look, there's a lot going on, whether it's what's happening in the city, what's happening with a building. Hey? Serious.
Guy's going to join a gang of bricklayers erecting a breeze block wall.
The lads were brilliant, really. And they was letting me lay the gob out, letting me lay the bricks, tapping them down. Yeah. They was letting me get stuck in, which is spot on. Your name is? Renonski, and I'm Guy. Nice to meet you, mate. Nice to meet you, thank you.
Renham and the other bricklayers are from the poor East India state of Bihar. They travel around the country to find work, hoping to save enough so that one day they can return home and build their own house.
How long are you going to be here in Mumbai? Is the money good? You know, what would you expect to earn?
per day.
That's like in England is £4.50 a day. In England, a good bricklayer would earn like 150 to 200 pounds, which is like 20,000 rupees in one day. You want to come to England? But in England, we do not have that weather. In England, it rains the whole time. The whole time.
They're building a new room.
It could be a loo, or it could be a prayer room. No one really knows. Depends whoever buys the flat, I suppose. I could be building a temple, but I'm probably more likely building a storeroom. But it could be a temple. Cheers, mate. I've never laid many bricks, but I've laboured for a few brickies. I'm not a builder. I don't know what I'm doing, but the way the brickies were putting the bricks down, there wasn't a lot of finesse taking place.
There's a clear lack of tools and training.
Those boys lay 100 breeze blocks on a good day. And I just thought, is that a lot? So I ring to my mate Paddy, the man. He can lay the bricks. And, you know, he wasn't boasting in the slightest. A bricklayer and a labourer will do 500 breeze blocks in a day, and he wasn't boasting.
A recent property slump has affected developers' finances. That, along with convoluted planning rules, means it takes longer to build a tower here than anywhere else in the world.
Here we've got the 48-storey skyscraper in Mumbai. It's going to be built in 6 years. And then we've got the tallest building in the world being built in Dubai, 163 floors. That was also 6 years.
At 5 p.m. sharp, building stops. Guy may have been surprised at the standard of work, but it's so typical throughout the country that Indians have given it its own special word.
I've been reading here, the country, they say, is built on this jugaad system. Jugaad, what's that translate to? And I think, yeah, to me, that means budget and scarper. There's a time and a place for budget and scarper. But they're saying the problem here in India is the country is built on that system. Everything has been bodged and scarpered. And a Prime Minister once said, that's the problem here in India. Some of our potholes have roads. That's not so clever. That's not so clever, is it?
With 20 million residents, Mumbai is the most densely populated city on Earth. But for 200 years, it was a port with just a few low-rise buildings. As more and more people have flocked to the city seeking a fortune, the only way to build has been up. Because Mumbai is hemmed in by the sea on one side and crippled by unreliable public transport on the other. The 30 tallest buildings were all built in the last 6 years, like this one, the world's most expensive home.
Antilia Towers, Antilia Tower, you see that there, that one there? That's the richest man in India's house, Mukesh Ambani. 200 servants live there for 4 family, husband and wife, 2 kids. $1 billion house.
Mukesh Ambani's oil, gas and retail businesses have made him £15 billion. As well as the residential sections, his house has office space inside and vertical gardens outside to offset CO2.
I would not live there. Well, to be honest, there's worse places in the world to live in there, but it's just the surrounding area. There's nowhere to ride my bike. I don't know how to ride my bike. We're gonna have my shed, hey? I'll be shedding that when I'm a job, getting all my engines up them stairs, aren't I? Hey? Not for me, mate. I wouldn't live there for all the tea in China.
India.
I know we are in India, but that's the saying, James, that's the saying.
But even Antilia isn't the most prestigious address in Mumbai. That accolade belongs to Imperial Towers, the tallest building in India. Built on an old slum, the pair of 833 feet high towers contain 116 luxury apartments, costing an average of £2.5 million. They're bought by bank CEOs and senior lawyers, although not all have been sold. But Guy hasn't come all this way just to look at them. Nor is he satisfied by simply visiting the top floor.
Can we go there and have a look, please?
Guy will only be happy when he can climb no higher. On top of the tower, there's a service shaft, and inside it, there's a stepladder.
Right, we'll go have a look at this. That's where I'm going.
He's 60 stories up and has to complete a final 2-minute climb to reach the summit, more than 5 times higher than Nelson's Column.
Some bloody big bugs up here. Right, that's the lightning conductor. Let me get a bit farther out. You see us? All right. Hey, what a view, eh? There we go. You've seen no like this welding up here, boy. You've seen the state on it. Jesus Christ.
The metalwork may not be up to much, but the panorama is a different matter.
We love a bit of that, don't we?
And it's given Guy a firm idea of where to go next, because clearly visible next to every new development, even the golf club, is a slum.
We need to have a look at the slums. That's where we're going. That's where we need to go now. Get walking. Come on, I'll get on with this stuff. I'll get on with this stuff.
Guy Martin's Indian adventure has brought him to the richest city in the subcontinent, Mumbai. The skyline is dominated by skyscrapers, a symbol of this emerging market's wealth. But half of the 20 million residents live at the foot of these towers, in the cramped, densely populated areas known as slums. The largest slum of all, in fact the largest slum in the whole of Asia, is called Dharavi.
All right, mate.
But what Guy's about to discover will change all his ideas about what a slum is.
Namaste. Boys playing cards. We're in the middle here of 1 square mile with a population of 1 million people. And that's the population of Birmingham. I know a slum, probably as you know a slum. The pictures that are put in front of us from the likes of Sao Paulo, from the likes of China, from the likes of... This is nothing like, is it? Nothing like. The size of the bloody telly in there. Hey? It's like PC World in there. What I was expecting was going to be like, how do people live in this? But actually, we've come here and I think, spot on. Well, look, right, fancy tiling. That wouldn't be out of place in Buckingham Palace, would it? Hey, look at the tiling on that. Come on, let's have a look.
There's no running water or sanitation, and in the open areas, animals run wild.
We like the pink. Size of the balls on him, eh? He can impregnate a nation.
But everyone is determined to make the most of their meagre resources. Like the first person who comes up and introduces themselves to Guy, 30-year-old Sandy Batra.
Hip-hop. Now we're talking. Now we're talking, mate. Sandy's the man. Sandy, Bollywood dancer. How long have you been a dancer?
How long? It's 9 years.
9 years.
Sandy earns £4.50 a day as a backing dancer. He also works as a choreographer and teaches kids how to dance.
You love it. It takes you all around the world.
Yeah, I went to Paris, then London for 2 days.
Yeah. You've travelled about a lot then.
Lyon, Lille, and Frankfurt.
You must be good.
Rotterdam.
Is there anywhere we can see you this dance?
I'll teach you. You just learn.
Go on.
Just learn.
Go on. I'm not much of a dancer, mate, but I'm all ears. Go on. What do I do?
You stand here.
Go on. We're not ballroom dancing, are we?
Okay, 1, 2,
2,
3,
3.
1, 2. Yeah, okay. 5,
Yes.
6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. No, 1 and 2,
2,
3,
3,
1, 2, 1, 2,
2,
3, 1, 2. Yeah. That's welcome to India.
Oh, is that's what that means?
Yes. Welcome to India.
I've got that. You got that. Thank you very much. Sandy, it's been good to meet you, mate. Good to talk.
Dharavi is a surprisingly active part of India's economy. Each year it generates more than £300 million in trade. 85% of the residents have a job. Many work in one of the 15,000 single-room factories.
Namaste. Can we come to the camera and have a look? Have a look. Okay.
Here they turn raw ingredients into food seasoning. This machine grinds as much spice in a day as a person could in a week.
It's all mulch, you know, you can feel it in the ground. You can feel it. These are all just punches. There's a lot going on. What about the wiring? 3-phase motor, belt driving, like these lever arms.
The spirit of enterprise is everywhere. Anyone has the ability to set up a business. This young boy is making treader plates for stairs.
Fair play, doing it without any goggles. He's getting the job done. And you see your sort of timing, just the way he's closing his eyes, just fair play. I wasn't quick enough then. We might know about that in the morning.
It's estimated only 3% of Indians pay income tax, and a lot of the businesses here are unregistered. Some rely on pilfered electricity. As well as manufacturing, there's retail, and Guy decides to buy a souvenir for a loved one.
Oh, we've been here a week. I miss my dog, Nigel the Labrador. He's only young and I'm going to find him a toy, an Indian toy. I think he'll appreciate that. Okay. For a dog. No. Should we go to the next shop? You think he'd like a coconut? He's a man of the world. The master. Nigel like them. He'll like them.
Still missing home, he takes advantage of an unexpected international service.
Public phone?
Yeah.
That's the public phone?
Yeah.
Where my dad? Can I borrow the phone, please? How much for 5 minutes? 5 rupees.
Only India.
Only India. Out of India, 16 rupees.
1 minute.
1 minute is 16 rupees.
India has the second largest phone network in the world. Huge competition keeps prices extremely low. Although soon fixed lines will be dead, there are 30 times more mobile phones.
No answer, mate, I'm sorry. I'll try me, mum. Meant a voicemail. He'll answer the phone. He always answers the phone. Who? Mick Moody, my boss, always answers the phone. I say always. No, there's a Vodafone voicemail. That's it, we're out of numbers. I don't know anyone else I'll answer the phone. No one wants to talk to me.
It's estimated that 80% of Dharavi residents are from the lowest sector of India's rigid class system. They're called Dalits, or untouchables, like road sweeper of 39 years, SM Saraswal.
Pleased to meet you, mate. Thank you. Thank you.
Guy asked to see inside his home.
Thank you.
It's at the slum's heart, where the housing is so densely built up that it's pitch black even in broad daylight. Homes like this cost £5,000. They have no windows.
Thank you. Maddest. Thank you. We're quite honoured. You've allowed us into your house. So thank you very much.
काफी उनको respect दिया अपने आप
No, thank you, Damascus. Thank you. How long have you lived here?
कितने साल से
And how many people? It must be cosy.
मेरी वाइफ, मेरा लड़का, मेरे लड़के की औरत.
So there are in total 6 people staying in this house.
6 people?
Yeah, so it's his wife, him, his son's wife, and their daughter.
Is that right?
63 running अभी चालू.
So he's 63 years old.
63 and you was born here?
Yeah.
Fair play.
Ever since he visited temples as a child, Mr. Saraswal felt the urge to help his community. 15 years ago, he became a Hindu priest and now promotes education, teaches about health, and draws up ownership documents for people's property.
This house is clean. It's cleaner than my house. You know, everything's got its place. I just think it's. But then, do you want anything? I mean, you've a television. You know, you've the fridge, you've the washing up, you've all the pots and pans. What are you happy? Have you everything that you want?
कुछ नहीं चाहिए अपने सुखी की जिंदगी अच्छी जिंदगी.
He's saying that he doesn't want anything from his life. He's very happy with his life and what God has gifted him.
खाली खाना खाता हूँ बस.
And he's a foodie. He loves eating food.
Oh, this is brilliant.
जैसे हम उसको मूर्ति बोलते हैं. जो बाहर से आप मेहमान आए वो हमारी मूर्ति है. उनको देख के मैं बहुत खुश होता हूँ.
So it's a part of Indian tradition that anybody who's a guest who comes to your house, so we respect them as if they're the God itself. You know, so that goes for everybody who's coming into the house.
Thank you. I'm honoured. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's spot on.
That afternoon, the priest invites Guy to visit his temple and the slums council.
Take the shoes off, okay? How many gods altogether? In India, how many gods?
In India?
Yes.
Too many crores. Millions.
Millions of gods. Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Some of the other dignitaries recognise Guy. Sort of.
You look like that actor.
You, Jack?
X-Men. What's the name?
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
And that's him, boy. That's him.
Then, the children who've been following Guy all day ask to be taught something.
Some chalk. Right, I'm going to give you a lesson.
Yeah.
Right, you're going to be quiet. If I stand up on here. Yeah? Come on, let me stand up on here. Let me give you a lesson. Right. Right, you know a car? A brum car?
He opts for his specialist subject, the principles of internal combustion.
I'm not very good at drawing, mate. I'm not very good at drawing.
This car.
This is a car, you see?
Yes.
In the front of the car, we have the engine. Boom, boom. Just think, they're all right interesting kids. They're as bright as.
Yes.
Let me show you how the engine works.
Yes.
Inside the engine, we have a piston. We have a crankshaft, you see, and then how this engine works is on the 4 strokes. We have suck. It's like this, it's suck. It's like that, suck. And then we have squeeze, and then bang, and then blow. Just the kids, how keen they are, keen to learn. You see why Indian parents want their kids to be either engineers or doctors. They go suck, squeeze, bang, blow. You're getting there. I'm impressed. Thank you. You've been very good. You can see it, can't you? They're all, it's a switched on nation. A little bit of food for thought. I'll give you a chalk back, mate. Good lad. Shukriya. Shukriya.
Yes. It's Urdu.
Urdu. Shukriya. Now we've come here and I think, yeah, I quite like Mumbai. What seems to be really happy folk. Everyone seems to have a bit of a smile on their face. And I think, spot on. You just have to make do with what you've got. But you see more smiles on faces around here than you would in a town back home. That's right. And that's right, that. Watch my eyes, mate. You'll have some bugger's eye out with them.
It's now time for Guy to leave the city and head for Ridermania in Goa, where the world's wildest bike race awaits. Guy Martin's Indian adventure is heading to the tropics and the Ridermania Bike Festival. It's a 2-day ride, and Guy has to hope his bike will last so he can race it there. But the centre stand has broken.
You see, Must have been a rough ride somewhere. It's on the side stand at the moment, but if you're on somewhere that's not very stable, then you use the centre stand. And it goes on down here. So we need to put a bit of tube on the inside and then weld it up. But we'll do it. Come on.
450 new vehicles are registered in Mumbai every day, but investment in computer-controlled traffic lights keeps the major roads clear.
Well, I do feel half relaxed. All right, mate. You watch, I'll get wiped out any second now. Oh, well, we'd laugh, wouldn't we? We'd laugh.
Guy has 400 miles ahead of him, the equivalent of London to Edinburgh, on the notorious Highway 17. The Mumbai to Goa highway has the worst accident record in the state, with an average of 250 deaths per year. Head-on collisions are common.
Random tractor backing up in the street. Oh, we're coming up on a Mahindra.
Not that the local riders seem unduly concerned with safety.
These boys behind, they're not too fussy about helmets, are they? Well, let's see if you can keep up with the Enfield, mate. Ah, elections for dead. That's it, we're in top gear now.
But Guy's progress will never be swift, thanks to a unique feature of his trusty bike. He doesn't really like going faster than 50 miles per hour.
Any quicker than this, and I can't really see what's going on in the wing mirrors. It's trying to shake itself to bits.
As he reaches the tropical south, the temperature and humidity soar. Seasonal wind blowing in from the Arabian Sea brings some welcome relief.
Oh, look at that bit of rain. Bit of rain. Oh, I have never been so thankful for a bit of rain, eh?
India's British rulers named it a monsoon, and within just 15 seconds, the first drops become torrential.
Oh, it's coming down now, mate. Oh, look at that. You're not used to the British weather, lad, eh? The Indian motorbike is having to pull up in the rain. Skin's waterproof, isn't it, eh? It is genuinely like being in my shower at home.
The rain stops as quickly as it starts. And after another hour's riding, Guy spots a flash of good fortune at the roadside. In the village of Vadkal, he's found a welder.
You okay, mate? Broken off my stand, mate.
Guy doesn't speak Hindi, and these metal workers don't understand English.
Goes on, yeah. We turn it over. Yeah?
But the language of engineering is universal.
Goes on here.
The problem is quickly assessed, and the locals agree to help.
Helpful lads. Let me use a stick welder. Yeah, thank you.
There's only basic equipment available, so Guy is given a small piece of smoked glass to protect his eyes,
You hold her on, mate.
while he welds the stand back in place.
You guys got any water? Thank you. Just let it cool down, mate.
Will his bodge repair take the bike's weight?
Thank you. We're on the money, boys. Job done, lads. Just a bit of metal that I've just managed to bodge in place and weld in a fashion. And there's a time and place for Jagar on the roadside in India. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Guy's ride south continues. And eventually, Guy needs to make a call of nature, but he won't be going native. More people openly defecate in India than anywhere else in the world. 70% of the rural population don't use a toilet. 28 million children don't have toilets at school.
Let me get it right. The Prime Minister said, stop building temples, start building loos. He wanted 5 million loos building by September. That's a lot of loos. And this, to be honest, is the first we've seen. Nice tile work. Floor's not quite finished yet. I'm going to go for a leak. I'll talk to you.
Sanitation has always been a problem in India.
I'm a bit nervous now.
Going to the toilet outdoors makes it hard to keep germs out of the food and water supply.
The interesting thing is, though, like calorie intake, Indians take on more calories than African people, but Indians' bodies are smaller than Africans' bodies, and that's because Indians spend a lot of the time with diarrhoea. 600,000 Indians a year die of diarrhoea. Like Gandhi said, sanitation is more important than independence, and I can see where it's coming from.
In fact, it's such a big problem that UNICEF have launched an ad campaign to try and encourage people to take their poo to the loo.
Let's take the poo to the loo. Let's take the poo to the loo. Let's take the poo to the loo.
With the light fading, Guy decides to stop for the night in the village of Mahad.
Yeah, all day on the bike, 120 miles, all day on the bike. Back home, you'd have that done in 2 hours, wouldn't you? Without taking the mickey. One more day on the road tomorrow, and that's us. We're at the destination, gonna watch a bit of cricket. Lost the ball again. Catch him!
It's an early start for Guy. He's got a plan to take a shortcut that will get him off the slow-moving and dangerous roads. He's going to make the final leg of the journey by sea.
All right, mate.
On a traditional Goan trawler.
You okay? It's going to be a bit of a rigmarole, but we're keeping it authentic, as we like to do.
But first he must transport his bike across the shallow waters in a small dinghy.
That ain't going on there, we're all getting wet. It's quite simple. He's sinking with us in it. Right, we get wet, we're not made of sugar, are we? You all right, mate? Come on, watch yourself.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay. Spot on. What was I worrying about, eh? All right, mate.
Now all he has to do is load the bike before the dinghy sinks.
Has anyone really thought about what's happening?
Put it up and put it.
The idea was...
1, 2, 3.
Come on. Straight up. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some minor damage has been sustained, but Guy's journey across the Arabian Sea can commence. He's not the first Brit to travel to Goa like this. The buccaneering East India Company first landed in the early 1600s. It was an 18-month voyage from London, and they traded in salts, spices, and cotton at outposts they named factories in all of the major ports. By 1757, the company had assembled such a powerful private army that they ruled India.
A company running a country. Bloody crackers.
Today, this is one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. To the west is Africa and the areas patrolled by pirates. To the east are the rich waters full of red snapper and barracuda, even the occasional jumping dolphin. But as the coastal resort of Goa approaches, the trawlers are joined by pleasure boats and modern tourism. And Guy doesn't like it.
It seems this is the furthest away from India that we've been. It's just an holiday resort. That reminds me why I don't go on normal holidays.
Guy lands at Betim, 10 miles from Ridermania and the bike race he wants to win. Tourism makes Goa India's richest state, But Guy isn't interested in lingering in the vacation hotspots.
Something down there.
He ignores the beaches Goa is famous for.
Bloody terrible.
Rides past the holiday homes and doesn't stop at the cafes or souvenir shops. His 1,000-mile journey ends on a hilltop surrounded by palms. Used for outdoor raves ever since the mid-70s hippie movement, this weekend it's home to the Rider Mania Bike Festival.
We have made it. End of the 2-week adventure, Rider Mania. This is about as oddball as it gets. 5,000 miles from home, course marked out in a grass field somewhere. Never seen as many Royal Enfields in one place in my whole life. Bit of music on. Folk have come from all over India to come here.
With 5,000 visitors, there are all walks of life here, from factory workers to IT consultants. One thing unites them. Nothing stops them riding their Royal Enfields.
You ride a bullet. How did you lose your hand?
There was a bomb blast in Mumbai.
Sculptor Mahendra Patel was caught in the explosion on a rush-hour train in 2006 when terrorists set off 7 bombs.
Bloody hell! I could break my hand.
His prosthetic hand lets him carry on riding.
That's impressive. What time did the racing start, do you think?
This is India, time is not fixed.
All right, this is India, time is not fixed.
Most of the bikes racing here have been modified with knobbly tyres for extra grip. But the only racing modification Guy can make is to remove his panniers. And in doing so, he discovers another potential handicap. For the last 2 weeks, his rear tyre has been on backwards.
It's all right, we'll give it a go like that.
Bike and rider are ready for their technical inspection by Ravi, the scrutineer.
Now, mate,
how you doing?
How's it going?
Good.
I took the panniers off, took that front bar off.
Okay.
Is that okay?
If anything fails, then Guy can't race.
Do you have full-length boots?
Yes, those. Yeah.
His trainers aren't deemed protective enough.
The leather, and they're above the ankle.
Well, slightly taller would be better for you.
Slightly taller.
There's not any armour in it.
No, but they'll be okay. They'll be okay.
No, it's. I think it's better if you have some sort of armour or knee guards on it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Everyone else is wearing knee guards?
Yeah, everybody is.
Is everything else okay?
Yeah, your bike's fine, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Knee guards and higher boots.
Guy is going to have to improvise.
Your shoes or boots? Boots. What size are they? Could I borrow them, please? Lace them up. Come on. Come on. I'll look after him, boy. I'll look at him. The shirt off the back as well, please. That's what it's all about.
Smartest I've ever seen him, I think.
You are down with the kids.
Some hastily bought knee pads complete the safety clothing.
Ready for action.
There's just one final preparation left, adding the number that turns his tourer into a racer.
Good old girl, she'll do us proud, I'm sure.
Guy's professional reputation as a bike racer is on the line. Guy Martin is about to compete in one of the maddest motorcycle races in the world, Rider Mania.
We're here for experiences, and that's what that is.
There are several classes, and amateur enthusiasts travel from all over the world to compete on their pride and joys. Guy is in the most prestigious race for the fastest 500cc machines. But with so many riders, first guy number 51 must take part in a heat. Only the top 3 will qualify for the final.
She's a bit lively. To be honest, I'm not much of an off-road rider. Ooh, not a lot of grip. Not a lot of grip. You go nowhere fast. There's an art to ride that sort of surface. It just had my feet down most of the time.
It's chaos. Every lap sees somebody lose control or have a near miss.
Someone cut right across me. I nearly got rammed off the track. I nearly come off a few times. Didn't do, but I nearly come off a few times. Good fun though. Bloody good fun.
Amidst the confusion, it transpires Guy has done just enough by finishing 3rd.
Is that the case? So I've got into the final? Yes. That's fine.
There's an hour to wait before the main race. While his rivals carefully fine-tune their bikes, Guy simply adjusts his tyre pressure.
You use the tyre pressure a bit would just allow the tyre to deform and give you a bit more contact patch with the dirt to give you a bit more traction. Just let him down with a valve cap and just squeeze him. I know what I'm doing. Feels about right, that, doesn't it? At 15 psi. That was Jaguar. 15 psi, it's about that. 20 psi, about that. 45 psi, about that. Precision. So it's all in there, I know what I'm doing.
After making his limited adjustments, Guy waits in the sweltering heat as the festival's races continue to an enthusiastic crowd.
Final, on the count of 3.
First, there's the slow race, a test of low-speed balance where the last person to cross the line without touching their foot down wins. Then the dirt track races start. The crowd and riders treat them like a World Championship Grand Prix. The heat is not helping people's tempers.
She's hot, mate, she's hot. Yeah, they've been, what would that have been? Mid to late 30s. And it's not just the heat. They all say it all the way, it's the humidity. Oh, you always forget that. You always forget that bit.
Guy lines up for his 7-lap race against the very fastest Royal Enfield riders at the event. It's clear that they're taking it very seriously.
Revving motorbikes left, revving motorbikes to the right. I just looked at the gate, and my race face was on then. In like that, probably in that 5 seconds, I thought, ooh, revving this.
For one last time, Guy's going to have to rely on the trusty bike that has ferried him around India.
Gate dropped, let go of the clutch, over the gate, and I led him to the first corner. Get a bit of that. On a track like that, well, I don't know what I was doing. You don't know how hard to push, otherwise you're going to crash.
On the 4th corner of the first lap, Guy's overtaken by rider 74, experienced motocrosser and lawyer Amrut Kair. Meanwhile, at the back of the field, they're dropping like flies.
But it was carnage, wasn't it?
The bottleneck behind the accident lets the two leaders break away.
Letting the pressure out of the tyres gave me a little bit more confidence with the bike. I could push the front a little bit more. Feet down a bit of it, Andrew's boots doing the job. And there was people crashing.
The leaders come round to lap the stricken bikes.
And then the boy that was leading, he went one side of the boy that crashed, I went the other side. You've sort of got to be brutal. Don't slow. Do not lose your momentum. I did the move coming out. I got a good acceleration, drove away from him.
There are 3 laps left, and it's down to Guy to try and hold on to the lead without sliding off.
I had one sneaky look behind me, just to make sure, and I thought, oh, there's no one there, and I just rode my own line. I didn't know when the last lap was, but the flag will be coming out soon. Yeah, brother, I've got to check a flag. It was mega, wasn't it? Congratulations. Wanted to give me the flag so I could ride round a victory lap. But they gave me a checker flag when I broke, so I got a yellow flag, and then did a victory lap with a yellow flag. Well, it was great.
The climax of Guy's adventure reminds him how far he's come.
Never has a fish been as far out of water as it was when we was in Old Delhi. Yeah, 2 weeks later, Ridermania, getting whooped, high-fived. Well, yeah, it was just like we felt like part of the gang, part of the Indian gang. I thought, oh yeah, cool, lads.
It's just for Martin, hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
There was all hip hipping and raying, and it was brilliant. I just felt like, oh, I thought we've been taken on.
What's your name?
Guy. Good old boy, I thought. Good old boy. Yeah, Enfield have done me proud.
We brought her down and we've asked her to race in a race that she's not really designed for, and she's won it. Thank you very much, thanks for the loan, boy.
That's all right.
Spot on, done all right. Never raced nor rallied.
They've done some work now, these. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm deeply honoured.
We've had 2 weeks of an adventure, exploring and discovering India, and all been great, has it? Some of it's been far from great. But I think I'll go back home with a bit more, I'll have a bit more about me. All right! The most important thing I've learned, but he's trying to implement it back home, is when we was in the slums. He wanted nothing. The man wanted nothing. And he was happy with what he got. That's a bit of a downside to the Western world, I think. And I always think, oh, I'm never trying to keep up with the Joneses. But I think there's a bit of me that is, and I don't really know it. I'm moving house for a bigger shed. What's all that about? Why am I doing that? What a bigger shed. I just think, I genuinely came away from the slums saying, Martin, just be happy with what you've got, mate. Plan for the bike. I like my adventures. So I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm coming back to India. No question, this is happening. I'm going to get that bike in storage, I'm going to come back to India, and I'm going to ride it from Goa back to Grimsby. That's the trip, Goa to Grimsby. I don't want to get too deep and meaningful about it, but I really enjoyed it. What an experience that was, eh?